Make love, make more. My CC Radio.
Welcome, 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 welcome to Mr. Bitch University.
Can't forget the mister.
Don't forget the Mister. I am Professor Bitch, and I will be teaching y'all about music, everything music. Our first class is going to be a Music Theory 101, and don't worry, you don't need a background in music. You could just love music. Your background could be from a DJ, artist, whatever it may be. We're gonna simplify it.
Yeah, and make it fun.
And make it fun. Since this is our first class, I kind of want to tell you what the university is going to be about, how the curriculum is going to work. Like I mentioned before, the courses that we're going to be doing is music theory, music business, music production, music history, Rekordbox and CDJs 101, and song and lyric writing. So we're trying to take a very expansive amount of information and give it to you in a nice, clean bow. So will there be homework? Yes. Will I be graded? Yes. We're going to do an exam at the end, and whoever scores the highest will be getting a Mr. Bitch University Baddies chain.
Line it up.
So line it up. So listen clearly. Yeah, we want a lot of participation. We want, some of this stuff I'm taking and condense it. Usually you would learn this over the course of a semester. So we're trying to make it, simplify it, and make it digestible for any and everybody. Just for this class, I would say having a keyboard would be really helpful. So whether you have one at home, or you can download a keyboard app on your phone, or pull up GarageBand, that would make things very, very easy for you to follow along. Okay, let's get started. So just a little bit about my musical background. I think most people know me as a DJ, but I actually have a very long career in music. The first instrument I picked up was a violin when I was 8 years old, but I actually really studied the cello throughout my high school years and middle school years, so did a lot of classical training. And then I kind of got into audio engineering in high school, started producing in Logic, went to school, went to SUNY, purchased Conservatory of Music, studied there for a really long time. That's where I really got to dive into all these courses we're talking about. And then started throwing parties and became a DJ. So a lot of my background about being a DJ is informed by my upbringing as a musician. So, yeah. Exactly.
Confirmation.
We have a special guest today, my best friend, Sayje Hewitt, Professor Hewitt. I'll let her take the mic and introduce herself.
Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Yes, my name is Sayje. A lot of people here in Miami know me as a sound healer or astrology practitioner. But my musical journey, just like Sam's, also began from a very, very young age. She was a little choir girl, and I began taking a lot of solo voice lessons, and that carried me all the way through high school. I went to the Cellular Cruz Bronx High School of Music, and spent most of my years just, honing my vocal skills there. And then I studied vocal performance, music business, and songwriting in Berklee College of Music, and I graduated in 2011. So if y'all are doing the math, it has been some moons. But yeah, I would say I would always describe my sound as pop R&B with some new age elements. Music has been, the foundation of my life and has carried me through many different avenues. But yeah, music theory, Sam and I were just talking about it earlier this afternoon. I think that it's fundamental and really foundational to understanding just the language of music. So I'm excited to co-host this course.
If you have not experienced a sound bath by Sayje, you must. It is something very magical. And I just feel honored to be your friend and have experienced it as well. Yeah, I just want to also say that like music has been the vehicle to get me through so much trauma. Like I just remember being in my bedroom and playing my cello, and it just did something for me. So yeah, music and I think a lot of people in the room feel the same way. So, all right. So what is music theory? So music theory is basically the structure that breaks down. I'm like, who is this frog?
She's auditioning for the choir.
Music theory breaks down the invisible structure behind songs in several fundamental components: pitch and notes, intervals and scales, that's definitely spelled wrong, chords and harmony, and rhythm and meters. So this is going to be, what we're going to get into is just actually the bare bones of reading music, and what components actually make up music theory. I don't know if you want to say anything about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, or the head on the nail, whichever comes first. But really what we're going to introduce everyone to, as Sam said, is pretty much basic music notation and sight reading, essentially.
What's sight reading?
Sight reading is visually reading music and being able to perform it.
Do you want me to take this one, or you want to take this one?
Sure, you're by the thing.
I know a lot of folks that are very, very talented in music, but they can't read music, and a lot of times it's like, well, why is it important to be able to read music, or why is music theory important? For me, this is just another tool in the tool chest, so it's a way to communicate to somebody else, hey, this sounded really good because it was a fourth or a fifth, or that chord sounds really good because of this. It also gives you the ability to study artists and study why music, this specific genre, artist, sounds great. There really is a formula out there that makes things consonant and makes it sound good. So I would say you don't have to, it's good to be able to do this. It's not absolutely necessary. You're still a musician if you can't read music, but I think that it is just another ability to communicate with an audio engineer, another performer. Maybe your composition writing will get better through understanding, the tools.
It's universal. Absolutely. So we are going to start off with the basics of notation. Here at the bottom of the screen, we have... Here? Yes. The basic notes that we use to represent beats in what's known as a measure. So if you're looking at the lines up at the top, we have visually 4 measures, essentially, in the staff line. 2, 3, 4. We're not gonna pay attention to the last measure. But 4 measures. Usually if you're looking at a musical score, you would have about that on each line.
I wanna go through what all of this means exactly. So the first is the cleft. Yeah, we're gonna clap this out, and then we're gonna clap it out together.
I see some students are already ahead of the game.
Yes, we love that y'all already clapping out. That we have the egg shaker ready to go. But before we get there, I want to talk about what these things are. So the clef, that's basically I don't know how you would describe a clef, but there's bass clef, treble clef, and these are representation of the range. The range, thank you.
The range in which the music is written. So typically for piano can be written in either treble or bass clef. It will typically be written in both. And on the piano specifically, your bass clef is representative of the left hand because it is all of the lower notes, the bass music. And then the treble clef, which is that beautiful swirl that you might see there, it's also known as the G clef, is indicating the alto to soprano.
Thank you.
The higher octaves.
So, for example, a flautist would mostly see their music in treble because the notes are so high. For me as a cellist, I was always reading in bass clef or tenor clef, which is a whole, like an older clef that Brahms and other classical composers used to write in. But yeah, guitar, piano, you're mostly going to see treble clef. Yeah, lots of clefs. And it's hard because, you think about it this way. You've been reading music for a really long time, and then all of a sudden you see a different clef. Your mind has to basically transpose to a different, like, the notes mean a different thing now, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? Okay, cool. You're following with me, right? Okay, cool. Okay, so moving on to the next thing, the 4/4, that is representation of how many beats per measure. So this is 4 beats per measure. So that will look like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a measure. The next, so there's always going to be 4 beats in a measure. Now, those numbers can change. There's different time signatures, 3, 4, 6, 8. We're not going to get into that. That's, I would say, more advanced, but typically we're thinking about 4 beats per measure.
In this session.
In this session. So let's look at the first measure. We have 4 quarter notes. So how would this sound? 1, 2, 3, 4. The next measure is 2 half notes. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Next measure, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. Next measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see the last note looks different than all the other notes. That just means the pitch has changed, but the rhythm is the same. Does that make sense? Okay. We'll get into like what notes those are. We're just going over rhythm right now. So the whole 4 bars, let's do it together. You all want to clap this with me? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you guys are so good. Yes. Yes.
We love that.
Question.
So you see how the beat is on the upper stanza, or that upper line? Does that represent a tonality shift?
Yeah, the pitch
The,
change.
the pitch has changed. Exactly.
And that's why that symbol comes behind it? Because it...
Not necessarily. The symbol you're talking about in the 4th measure.
Correct.
The 4th measure is
A rest.
A rest. Mm-hmm.
We're going to get into that actually right now. Yeah. So if the note goes up or down from the previous note, that just means the pitch has changed. It could change a half note. We'll get into that part, but exactly. So if we were going to sing this out.
Okay.
If we were going to sing this out, it would be exactly. You want to do it on a piano?
1,
2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Got it? But we're gonna get into the next slide after in a second. Okay. Let's talk about the 2 last measures. These are not obviously notated properly, but they're just a representation to see what are these things. So the second to last measure is a rest. So it's a 1 beat rest. So to actually complete that measure, there would have to be 3 other notes if they were quarter notes. But basically, it would just be a moment of silence for that beat. If you look over here, there's other ways to indicate rests as well. You have 1 beat, half beat, 4 beats. Then it's literally just, but you want to become a metronome. If you don't know what a metronome is, it's just basically like a clock that counts the beats. Kind of what I was doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. So you want to have that rhythm always with you, because when you start reading music, you're not always going to know what's coming up, but you'll be able to read it and be in sync because you understand the rhythm that is coming up.
Right. It keeps everything in the pocket, essentially. And then as Sam mentioned, the rests are equally as important because it signifies, a moment of rest, a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're reading music, this is your interpretation of somebody writing something. So it's gonna like sound different every time a different musician plays it. I won't get into it, but there's other ways to shape the sound with cadences and loudness and velocity. There's all these different things, and yeah, it's like you're reading a language. It's like not everyone talks Spanish, but like everybody sounds kind of different. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Last thing I want to notate is this. So this is an indication of a sharp. This is the indication of a flat. They're called accidentals. There's also one called a natural. So why are these important? What you're looking at is a measures or a key signature that has no flats or sharps. But there could be, there would be situations where some clefs, not clefs, what am I thinking of?
Key signature.
Thank you, key signatures, where they'll indicate sharps or flats. We'll get into that a little bit further down the road, but just something to notate. Okay, any other questions on this, or can we move on? Do I have y'all's attention? Yes. Okay. Okay, now, how do you actually read the notes and what are the notes labeled? So, in treble clef, this is how we remember them, but the ones that have lines through them as you go up are indicated as E, G, B, D, F. So if you see a note that is on the 4th line and the line is through it, that is a D. The way we remember this is every good boy does fine. Eventually, you won't even need that acronym and you would just know, okay, this is E, this is D, this is B. Same thing here, so these notes are not through the lines, they're through the spaces, if you notice. And we remember them as F-A-C-E. Any questions?
Explain that one more time.
Yes. So if the note, if this note is on this line, it's an E.
It's an E.
It's an E note.
It's an E note.
Okay.
Now if it's on this line, it's G. So forth, so forth, so forth.
Okay.
So the way we remember that is every good boy does fine. So it's an acronym.
Okay. And it's always.
Always.
In that
For treble clef.
For treble clef specifically.
Okay.
If we change the clef, it changes everything.
Okay.
We'll get to that at a later.
We're not gonna do that yet.
We're not gonna do that.
We're gonna stick to treble clef so that you guys could at least cement that in your head. So if the note is on this space, it's always gonna be F. It's always gonna be A, always gonna be C, E.
Because eventually the goal would be to, of course, take away the letter names and be able to identify those notes by sight, which is why we call it sight reading, essentially.
Any questions? Yes. That's a great question. So notes can actually go above this line or below this line. It would repeat.
It would, essentially, it starts to repeat because what we'll probably display in the next slide are the order of the notes. So essentially, if we're looking at that last note, which would be a high F, the next note would be G. So what's happening is that we're seeing what's called an octave, so 7 notes above the lower G. So it just continues through the musical alphabet as you go higher. I was always scared of those higher ledger lines up there because I'm like, oh my goodness, that means the note is getting higher. We need a bigger breath here. Yes.
And this will make a little bit more sense when we get into scales, which is the next thing. Because these letters don't really mean anything until you actually see them across a scale. But yeah, like flautist, like the ledger line, so the ledger line is these lines, they'll have them like, I don't even know, like 5, 6, it's really crazy to to see their music. And then kind of the same thing for bassists. Their ledger lines be really low, exactly, in bass clef, which is even lower. So, yeah. So if you're familiar with this already, if you want to get a little bit more advanced, I would say look into bass clef or other complex time signatures. But yeah, this is the basis.
That was a great question.
Yeah, that was a great question. Okay, scales. So what is a scale? It is a ascending musical line that cycles through all an octave. So that's, yeah, go for it. So she's gonna play the root again, which is 1, C. And then she's gonna play the octave, so it's 8 notes above that, the other C. So C here, C here. And then there's notes in between that. So we go through C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And that's a major scale, specifically. Any questions? Confusions? Not sure? Okay, cool. Yes?
You gave an acronym for the treble clef. Every good boy does fine, right?
Yes.
Is there an acronym for the bass clef?
Yes. I don't remember it right now, but there is an acronym for it too. Same exact thing here. But yeah, no, absolutely. I don't remember.
So it would change. Visually, we would show you, but it would be good. Instead of every good boy, it turns into good boys do fine always, because that G moves down to the lower line. And then instead of it being face, it would just be all cows eat grass. Yeah. So A, C, E, G. So ASH.
I mean, good question. So let's talk about the spacing between these notes. So we have whole steps and we have half steps. Two half steps equal a whole step. So from C to D, that's a whole step. D to F is a whole step. Yeah, can you do C to D for me? Cool. Now we're gonna do D to E. E to F is a half step. F to G is a whole step. G to A is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. And B to C is a half step. So I'm reading that from here. And that makes a major chord. Or major scale, excuse me.
What other scales are there?
There are a lot of scales. I'm just showing you guys a C major scale because there's no flats or sharps, and it's major. There's minor scales, pentatonic scales.
There are several different modes as well, but I think just to give you like a general overview without having to go through each scale, pretty much a scale can be built off of the musical alphabet. So what we're looking at right now is the C major scale. So we're looking at the C scale. You can also build a scale off of D, E, F, etc. The only difference is that the key signature will indicate what notes are either sharp or flat in those different keys. In the key of C, if you're looking at the keyboard, there are no accidentals, meaning we're just playing all of the white keys.
Okay, any other questions? We're gonna also move on to solfege next. Okay, great. I'm gonna have Professor Hewitt take solfege because I'm not a singer.
So someone earlier was asking about acronyms, like as far as understanding where a note is on a line. There is also, to some degree, acronyms for each pitch in the scale, okay? And so that system is pretty much known as solfege. So if you can see up at the top right of the screen, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, all of those words are associated with a different note. So, sorry. So essentially, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's called movable do because, as someone was asking earlier, you would be able to utilize the same solfege for essentially any major scale. So it can be built off of C, off of D, etc. Any questions so far about solfege? Do you guys want to sing with me? Yes?
I'm like, y'all look confused.
Can everyone sing do? Do. Even better, okay. So the next note, re. Mi, very good. Fa, I love it. Sol, la, ti, do. An octave. Congratulations, you sang the C major scale. Yes. So you can essentially build the solfege, as I mentioned, off of any scale. Solfege was a great way for me to actually train my ear. Because sometimes you might not have the accessibility to a piano or a guitar. So once you kind of familiarize yourself with those pitches and the syllables, you can essentially train your ear even away from a piano as you move along, like learning music theory. So solfege has actually been really crucial to me understanding music theory as a whole. As a vocalist, it just really helped me. So yeah.
I want to also just point out, like, why is it important to have a scale? I'll say this: when you're composing as an artist or a songwriter, you're typically given a time. What am I on the clef?
You're given
a key signature.
A key signature. Mm-hmm.
A key signature. So it's basically parameters in there to write to, and then you can use the scale or intervals between these notes to actually make a melody. For example, I won't go too deep into it, but a root to a fourth is, what is that? Here, that's Here Comes the Bride, right? So they call those perfect fourths and perfect fifths. So as you get to understand these intervals and the spaces between these notes, that's when you can really start writing really beautiful melodies because you understand what's consonant and dissonant. Okay, let's move on. Which brings us into chords. So we have major and minor chords. We're gonna do a C major chord and a C minor chord. Sayje, would you mind playing a C major chord? It sounds bright, it sounds happy. All right, let's play a minor chord. Sad, dark. See, do you guys hear the difference? Okay, we're gonna do a little test. We're gonna play either a major or minor chord, and I want you guys to tell me if it's major or minor. He's trying to scare them. Is it major or minor? It is diminished. It's diminished,
Give him
right?
a little evanescence, a little.
So the basic structure of a chord is the root note. So C. I mean, it could be anything, but in this case, it's C. The third, so that's the spacing, and then the fifth. So it makes, for a C major chord, it's C, E, G. Yeah, let's see what it looks like on a piano. So show us the root, C. Oh, can you take off the third and the? I know, take off the third and the. Why is it stuck? Wait. For some reason
the
she's.
octave?
No. I'm saying let me just see something again. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this is C on a piano. That's the root. That's the third, and then show us the fifth. That makes a major chord. Now we're going to show you what a minor chord looks like. Root, flat third, so this one, and then the fifth, and that makes a minor chord. Now I'm sure you guys are like, well, how do I find the notes on the keyboard? Do you have a method for this? Because I have a method for this, but I'm curious if you do.
Finding the notes on the keyboard?
Yeah, like, okay, I don't know. I'm looking at this keyboard, but I don't know how to find whatever my root note to go is. For me, it's C. The way I usually figure this out is if you look at the keyboard, you have three black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys.
Oh, you mean to find C?
To find C, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be located near the double black key. So right below this region, which would be a D flat. So if you notice, the keyboard has a pattern. So 2 black keys, 2 white keys, and then above 3 black keys. C is always going to be right below the first black key.
And then once you have C, then you have everything else because D is next to it. E, F, G, A, B, C. And there's your octave.
Do, so.
Any questions? No? Okay, cool. Let's go back. Okay, we have an exercise. We want to see how good everyone's ear is. So, we have picked a song that we are going to figure out the melody on the piano, because I think this is a great exercise, especially if you're coming up with a melody, you want to figure out how can I play that on the piano, and maybe how can I then transpose that to writing it. So the song that we chose is Spend That. So we're gonna take the melody and play it on piano, and then we're not gonna like transpose it onto music sheet, a staff or anything like that, but we just kind of want to show you guys the exercise that we do to at least get the first note and then play the rest. Okay. So, can I tell them it's an A flat? Should we tell them the key it's in?
Yes, essentially the key, or the melody at least, to be specific, is in the key of A flat, which features 4 flat accidentals in the key signature. So just to give you the A flat major scale. Yeah.
So that is basically the scale that Young Miami was writing to. So we're gonna try to let's figure out the first note. So I'm thinking, should we go to the chorus or?
Which just starts on a pickup, like the and of 3 and 4, I think.
Um,
Da da da.
Da 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 da. So, exactly. We want to find the first note, which she already did.
So the first note is A flat.
You want to sing it, hum it with
Do, 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 so. So again, just as like a little sprinkle of a tip, even utilizing solfege really does help you determine, like, if you don't necessarily have a keyboard in front of you, you could also eventually discern like what key or at least what note a melody might start on. So in the key of A flat, the starting note would be do. It starts on the root of the A flat major scale.
So E flat.
Where all my scamming ass niggas at? Okay. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for the sing along?
The acapella version.
Everyone knows the words to the song. Okay. So 1, 2. Where all my scamming ass niggas at? Stuffing that shit on that bag. 20s, 50s, 100s, cash. Keep going. Some of the keys are sticking. But basically, we just wanted to give you a fun way to understand the simplicity eventually of being able to notate a melody, essentially. There is a portion here that allows you to see the notes on the keyboard. That would be really helpful.
No.
Like the notation.
I know what you're saying. I don't know.
Are we in GarageBand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. It's been a little while. Huh? This one? Yeah, but then down here, oh, it's this, right? Factory default. This is that newer version of GarageBand. She has a meter. I know there's a way, because it would be really helpful if you could see.
The notes.
Yeah. You can continue through. I'm just going to Google it really quick, if you don't mind.
Okay, while she's looking for that, I'm going to go into the next slide. Do we have any Q&A? Any questions specifically? Go for it.
It's not necessarily about like scales and keys, but since y'all were talking about tricks and stuff, I'm curious about like, do y'all identify BPMs by ear and stuff?
Yeah. So, okay, so the question is, how can you identify BPMs? So BPM is beats per minute. So that's, for DJs, you should know this. It's basically the speed in which the song is playing. I don't necessarily have a way to identify BPMs. I'm better at identifying pitch, but I'm sure I could spot a track that's at 130 or 140. But I don't know. Do you have a tip to spot BPM? Yeah.
But I really like that though, like
You're
getting
like,
pitch and relationships to like
maybe this is like 2, 3, 4, 1. I think it's like 120. Right?
Yeah, I feel like when you kind of internalize like a natural 4 on the floor, it probably like innately comes to you eventually. Don't be afraid to like test yourself, you know? Like if you're in like your DJ sequencing a software program, like just open up a track and set your metronome to that and like physically tap it out on the body. I think is a good way to like internalize it, basically. That's what I would do if I was a teacher.
I think when it comes to pitch, so for me, I'm always as a cellist, I was always tuning to A. So A is something I can hum probably still. But so, as kind of, I guess, kind of on that realm, I don't know. You know what I mean?
At least as far as pitch is concerned, like I know for me, when I was rehearsing to perform like an aria or an opera, I would always try to memorize the root note, so the starting note. So if that song was written in B flat, I would try to memorize at least my starting note. And eventually, like by singing songs in different keys, over and over, by practicing, because practice is really important, I think you eventually train the ear to relatively memorize certain pitches. It's tricky.
Yeah, I've devoted many, at least 15 years of practicing 3 hours at a day. It's a lot. But like anything, your 10,000 hour steps, what are you looking for?
But it helps. Okay, so we're going to press E on the keyboard to open the editor panel.
Yep.
And then click the score tab. So there we go.
But hold on.
I think we would have to be in record. Yes.
Who is that on the deck?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
That was not Young Mike.
Hold on. That was a couple of, hold on. Jesus Christ. All right. I failed my own class. All right.
Maybe a new, fresh track, so we can change the. That, by the way, was your 120 BPM.
Oh, great. Yeah. No, this should work. 3, 4, 1.
Let's slow it down a little bit. So if this is 120, how do I change? I'm gonna do 85.
I feel like she was playing at 80 or 95.
Yeah, it's giving like a little old school
Ooh.
R&B groove, you know.
Yeah.
Let's slow it down for the lovers, or for the scammers.
Ooh, not.
Oh, it's delayed. I think it's the track is open. But anyways, regardless, if you look down at the bottom of the score, here it's giving us, it would need to be
Quantized.
How do I do that, Professor Vic? Give him a little moment.
I think it's quantized.
It is already.
I mean,
Can everyone see the piano roll and the
Yeah.
score?
yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Quantized to a 16th note?
Yes, 16.
Okay. Didn't change it, but anyway.
Okay, because that means it was close.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, well, what do you know? So basically, this song, sometimes a little advanced. The melody starts on a pickup, so it means that the lyrics actually starts before the downbeat. So we have a half rest here. So if we were counting it, oh, lovely. So if we were counting it out, so everyone tap with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba ba ba. You see that? So you have your eighth notes. This is not quantized, but GarageBand is a really great way if you have a melody in your head. Like, let's say you're, working on your own song, like an original composition, and you needed to find a way to notate that music. I would definitely sequence that melody out on GarageBand or your preferred software. that might give you the option to score, and it's a great way to visually see where those notes show up on a musical staff.
Any questions? Yes. Sorry, can you say it one more time? I couldn't hear you.
So from there, I start to think of chords as like colors or like a blend of colors. So if Sam was describing like our major chord, Wagwan.
What is going on?
A garage band wants to, she's ready to make her own song.
We're all scamming. Try again.
Okay, you hear that little tension? That's essentially like adding the second or the nine. So pretty much outside of the major or minor scale, once you start to add those accidentals or those in-between notes like a second, a seventh, or a 13th, it changes the color of the chord, basically.
So why don't you, play a major scale and then
I'm trying, baby.
go. Is it not? I'm just gonna make a new track.
Yeah, you gotta open a new
Because
track.
it's like,
We're trying to get like just like a clean instrument so that you can hear.
I tried.
I will say, like, off the rip, like identifying those advanced chords can be like a little tricky in the beginning, but as Sam was stating earlier, a really great way to start to understand what it sounds like is by starting with music theory. Because once you build your basic triad, which was the root, third, fifth, you're like, okay, I want to add the 9, which is essentially the second note. Right? So it's in between. Would be your flat 7. So I would advise studying your basic triads, major and minor, and then as you go deeper into music theory, learning the distance between each note, which is essentially an interval, you'll eventually get to that 9, 13, 7, 13. Mm-hmm. Those beautiful jazz chords that we
Yes.
love. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay, homework. So you saw us do it. I would love for y'all to pick out a song, a favorite chorus, and write it to a piano.
I already gave you the cheat code.
Exactly.
I gave you the cheat code.
Please don't use AI to do it. Please use your ear. Record it on a phone and just send it to my email. I would love to hear y'all actually go through and actually have fun. Can they find this PowerPoint somewhere else? Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so this will be available later. Thank y'all so much. I know we gave you a lot of information, but I hope you actually go and use it and make some fab songs, please.
Period.
It's a wrap. Thank you so much, Mr. Radio, for having us.
Thank you, Sam, for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you, Professor Hewitt. And we out.